Hey everyone, how's it going? So we just picked up the new Trek CarBack radar system for my wife's bike. She is deaf in one ear, so we figure this would be a really good safety feature for her when she's out on road rides, especially when she's by herself. Just help knowing there's a car coming up behind her. So yeah, let's take a look in the box and see what we get for $200. Alright. Kind of something here too. Oh, okay, just kind of display thing. So you got your unit, decent size, doesn't weigh a whole heck of a lot. Charging cable. It's like a regular old strap mount to go on your seat post. Nothing too crazy there. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Directions. And cardboard. Alright. We'll throw this on our bike and have to fire it on up. See how it works. Alright, so we got it on the bike, got it turned on. Has this nice kind of little green light bar on the side, letting you know how much battery you have, and has all your standard light modes like you'd expect on any rear blinking light. One thing with this strap, we got a Domane here. It has kind of a slightly large tube, not the biggest out there by any means, and the mounting strap that came with it, it is insanely tight. Like I could hardly get it wrapped around there. So yeah, they could be using a slightly longer rubber strap there, especially if you have some carbon frames to have a way bigger tube. Kind of more of an arrow tube or something, it's going to be on there pretty tight. Now if you have some of Trek's fancy saddles, you'll see that they have two mounting screws on the bottom where you can use one of their direct mounts. They retail for $6.50, kind of slick, kind of nice thing to have, but you need to have Trek's saddle for that. Or you can get one of these light mounts for $9.99. It attaches to any standard under the saddle type of light mount, like K-Edge makes them, all sorts of people. So here's a quick little shot showing what it looks like with the rear facing camera and a forward facing camera, so you can kind of get a little visual on how far back the camera picks up a vehicle. This Jeep was very nice. They're going incredibly slow, so it takes a little while for them to pass, but hey, that's awesome. They're being safe. We like safe drivers. Next we have a clip where we're trying to show you what your phone will look like if you have it out with the app running and everything while using the CarBack radar system. It's a little tough to see. I apologize. It was really bright out. We did a couple takes and this was the best one we could get with the sun, shadows, everything else. But as you can see on my wife's phone there, it does show you the car approaching and everything, and kind of gives you a little visual that the car did move over. So yeah, that's really great. It is really nice and definitely does make you feel a little bit safer when you're out on a road ride. Alright, up next here we have what you've all been waiting for. You get to see what your computer will show if you have a Wahoo computer. There's a red bar, or a green bar when there's no cars coming, turns to red when there is a car approaching. Very, very intuitive. My wife said it's very easy to figure out, really straightforward. But yeah, you can see there it's red on the left side of the display, and after the car goes by it turns to green, letting you know that you're in the free and clear, no one behind you to worry about. And something that we did notice with this system, both of us felt this way about it, is it picks up cars before we can hear them. You know, I mentioned before my wife is deaf in one ear, so that's one of the reasons we picked this up, just to help her be a lot safer when she's out on the road, especially by herself. But even with me riding right beside her, the computer was beeping at us a good 3 to 4 seconds before I even heard the cars, and quite a little bit earlier than my wife would see them in her mirror, especially for cars that don't have their headlights on. During group rides, and if you're riding on a big pack of people, it did pick up the cyclist behind us. So if you're doing like a charity ride or a race or other type of bike event, you might want to use a different type of blinky, because it was kind of going off like an alarm clock on a Saturday morning, just constantly beeping at us. So just something to consider if you're doing a ride with a group race type of event like that. And lastly, one big thing to consider is this will not keep you alive. Ultimately nothing will protect you from a distracted driver or someone that's under the influence of alcohol or drugs. That's just a fact of life. This will not keep you safe from idiot asshole drivers. It just won't happen. But it definitely made us feel a lot safer for all the rides that we've used it so far. I think we have about 5 or 6 rides now with it. And it does alert us quite a bit earlier when there's a car coming up behind us. And if you live in an area where there's a lot of electric vehicles, those things are quiet. It definitely helps you alert to those a lot better. Where we live, rural area, lots of guys drive around in lifted pickup trucks with big mud tires. You can hear them coming a mile away. And even those types of vehicles, those types of big trucks, the CarBack system was picking them up pretty good and early. Sometimes, before we even heard them approaching, if it was windy out, anything like that. So there you have it. CarBack quick review from Trek. Only other thing I'd say would be nice is if they just had a direct mount for it to go to your seat rails, your saddle rails there. That'd be wonderful to have, instead of having to kind of finagle like a light mount thing and then that other doohickey that I showed earlier in the video. If they just had one mount that just bolts onto your saddle rails there, that'd be great. But otherwise, we've really enjoyed it so far, and we're looking forward to using it to help us stay a little bit safer when we're out on our rides. So thanks, and have a good one.